Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Cup of Joe with Joe and Joe podcast. I'm your host, Joe, and with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Joe.
Well, I was not expecting any of that.
Yeah, you made some predictions last week. None of them came true, I don't think, but I am very pleased with this episode.
I like some of the things that quote-unquote answers, but not really answers, but it's really good.
Yeah, again, visually, there's some stuff going on in this episode that I think is fan-flubbin-tastic. You get more Choso fighting, which I don't know who is in charge of dictating what Choso does in this series right now, but God bless them, they're killing it.
He has become probably one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Especially after this episode. Really interesting, and I hope he, sticks around.
Yeah, I'd imagine we would get more, but at the same time, I could totally see, the next episode, he just gets, an ice pick through the brain or something, and you're like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. Rolling back more towards the beginning, though, because I don't want to just jump right into the latter half. We get some more weird scenes with Mei Mei and Wee Wee.
Would have never predicted that we were going to see Mei Mei at all for the last two episodes, but no clue what is happening here.
Yeah, she's doing stock shit, I guess. I don't really know. She likes money. This makes sense for her. I don't know why she's being so weirdly suggestive with her tiny brother. It makes me very uncomfortable.
The first image, it's nice.
First image made me feel a certain type of way. Second image, which is now the shot of Wee Wee, made me feel a complete opposite type of way.
Complete opposite.
Complete inversion. I was like, oh, okay.
We don't like this.
Nope. You really did the kickball 180 twist on me here, huh? Anyway, moving on from them, we get something that I wasn't expecting at all. The apparent death of Mahito.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna die. This was interesting. So either Mahito is dead or his presence within the show has changed.
It seems like he doesn't really like Geto all that much, because it almost looked like he went to go and transfigure him right before he gets absorbed.
Definitely did.
Yeah.
100% did.
So that was a thing. All right, bro, I don't really know why you try and do that, considering that you're fucking gassed and Geto is full strength seemingly, but, whatever. The scene of him getting absorbed, I really like it. I like how everything looks. I like how he's just a big spindly mass trying to stretch away from the source of him being absorbed. That's really cool. The particles as he breaks apart and actually gets fully formed into the little orb. Really cool. And then when he's used later on in, I'm going to forget the name of the ultimate attack, but Geto uses an ultimate attack with his power. That shit looks really cool. I like it a lot.
We get to see Geto, or I'm calling him Geto because I forget the name reveal that we got, flex a bit. And this man is strong. I don't have a recent memory in my head of him kind of showing off his powers. The only time I remember that is when he was Geto in JJK 0. So this was very cool to see him kind of just toy with Yuji. It was very interesting.
Yeah, we never actually see this version of Geto really test his abilities. So it's interesting seeing him finally utilizing that stuff going up against Yuji. But he doesn't fight with Yuji for too long, because we get the return of a couple of different characters here. Joe, we get the Kyoto students back, and I just didn't think they were ever going to show up here. That train scene kind of made me feel like, oh, they're just so far away that they won't be able to get here in time. But they're here now. And they do some shit.
Yeah, very shocked by that. I'm happy with it. It was a good twist that I wasn't expecting, and it's cool to see them because we don't know too much about them, but I like their powers, and as long as they, in my book, shouldn't get a lot of time dedicated to them, but when they are on screen and they give that kind of little extra bit of color to the show, I like it a lot, especially later on with the one dude who does the blood technique kind of being like, yo, Choso has the blood technique, and you get this connection between the person inhabiting Geto, Choso, and that student. You're like, okay, that's interesting. Wasn't expecting that.
To that end, the guy's name is Kamo Noritoshi, and it seems like that's also the name of the blood-bending archer dude as well. At least like his little name tag that comes up. He's like, wait, me? And so I guess it just has like the same name as this ancient sorcerer.
I think it's the family name. That's the family name.
I wasn't expecting that whatsoever, but it seems like Yuji has some kind of like blood-related lineage to this the Noritoshi family. You said this in the beginning. We got some answers, but even those answers kind of just lead to more questions, and I'm still not 100% on a lot of this shit. So like my understanding of it was just that it was like immaculate conception type of beat, or like demonic conception, whatever the hell you want to think about it, because the curse was able to impregnate the woman, the mother of Choso and the other cursed wombs. And then a man, Kamo Noritoshi, was then also like mixing his blood into whatever kind of strange concoction was going in there. That's why he stated that he had 3 parents, because it was the curse, the mother, and Kamo Noritoshi, which would make sense because he has some kind of, at least his lineage has some kind of blood manipulating ability between Choso and between the present day Kamo Noritoshi.
Does that mean Yuji is going to be able to do blood manipulation?
I don't know. He hasn't manifested that kind of ability at all yet. It doesn't seem like he will. I don't know if he is descended from like a Noritoshi bloodline, or if, like what you're saying, there might be like a curse doing some bumping fuzzies with other people
The
as
same
well.
curse did it. Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea, but somehow, somewhere in the ancestry line here, in the spaghetti of lineages, they're related, apparently. And that's because it's revealed Choso can feel anytime any one of his siblings or family members is in danger or is about to die, sort of a thing. And when he was about to kill Yuji, he felt the same exact thing. The memories still don't make sense to me. I don't know if that's just like an artistic interpretation of what like his emotions are leading him to feel, but it comes across like his brain is being incepted and that he's getting flashes of memories with Yuji in them. I don't think any of that actually happened though, because then why doesn't Yuji remember it?
Yeah, is it literal or not? It's not too important whether it is or not, but maybe we'll get clarification, maybe we won't. Either way, that's awesome, because now Yuji has 2 brothers. And it was funny because Panda makes the joke of like, damn, like, Yuji, what kind of pheromones are you giving off, bro?
Yeah.
Let's stop it here. I think this is good, but it was interesting either way. And we get to see Choso go head to toe with Geto. It's a cool fight. It's so cool. I actually thought when this episode started that we were going to get another style change, because the episode starts with just looking at some of the destruction of all of Shibuya, and the backgrounds look very nice, very different. There's a little bit of stylization to them, but then when we get into the main general animation, it's kind of back to last episode where I said it still looks phenomenal, still looks great, but it's a little bit more normalized.
Yeah, nothing is going to be as insanely stylized as the Maharaga against Sukuna. Like, that was insane, and there are a couple other episodes in there that are also, like, they just go balls to the wall with their own unique styles. This one is much more, like, in line and consistent with some of the previous episodes, but even so, the Geto versus Choso fight, there's just some stellar shit going on in there. I love the scale of everything. Like, in the beginning of the fight, Choso does something. He just makes a fist, and you see an aerial shot of Geto, and the ground just erupts with light, and a pillar of stone goes shooting up, and just the perspective warping as all that stuff is shooting past the camera lens. Oh, so good. The speed at which Choso's blood techniques are conveyed, the fact that they're just like simple red lines, but they have these little like air effects around them to just show the speed and intensity of them, and then like the sound design as well, like it's almost like a whistling. That's how fast this thing is fucking moving. It's just like, whoa, there it goes. Really great. It's phenomenal. I love that shit. Before we move too far past it though, I do want to just back it up to, there was a Bleach reference in this. Did you catch it, Joe?
I want you to talk about it. I want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Okay. It's the, we get a little bit of a narration going on from one of the Kyoto students, and it's revealed, oh, it's Miwa. Miwa's talking about, like, some of the shit that she had to do in her past, and now she's going to put everything into this next big sword attack that she's going to be doing because she wants to fuck up Geto. And so you get this great build-up, and she unsheathes the sword. She's going to use her new shadow-style jutsu, whatever the fuck it's called. And the motherfucker catches the blade without even breaking a sweat. Breaks the blade. She gets almost completely bamboozled by the ultimate technique that Geto was talking about earlier, which looks fucking incredible. But yeah, she gets Aizened is what happened there.
Yeah, that was awesome. And she gets saved by her mentor, whoever the guy who does the shadow style that was with Panda.
Yeah.
And not that it's super important, but I thought it was interesting that they spent a little bit of time for him to be like, Panda, I know you like the guy, but we should kill him. Like, we should kill Itadori. This is absurd.
Yeah, that is also something I forgot about that in the beginning. I like it because it shows that there are other people in the world and they have other very valid viewpoints because they have just this is like some massive
It's catastrophic.
Yeah, it's a catastrophic
Huge.
event.
And you see that with the backgrounds.
Yes. Very important that they did that right at the beginning to show you this is a problem. This is horrifying. And the fact that it's all from one dude who couldn't keep his shit together, which it wasn't really his fault per se, but a lot of people aren't going to see it that way. And it is probably safer to just kill him off now than it would be to try and keep him around and then kill him off when he gets the final 5 fingers. I feel like Yuji being kept alive is going to be a much harder thing to try and do now.
Yeah. We also get to see not a new character, but I guess I had misunderstood. I forget her name. She kind of gives Rukia vibes with the hair and her style and her ice effects. She was the one that was talking to Sukuna. Sukuna was like, yo, my homie, it's been forever. Apparently, she's also Team Geto. Didn't know that, but she is cool and she fucks up everyone.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I figured she must have been powerful because she's one of Sukuna's main lackeys, but she kind of just stops everyone. And part of me was like, why didn't she just do that from the beginning? Like when Choso was starting to attack Geto? I guess she kind of understood that Geto maybe wanted to like play around or toy or something like that. I don't know. Nitpicky, kind of, but maybe answer that a little bit more in the future. Anyway, she's pretty cool. Definitely do get Rukia vibes from her. Two Bleach maybe references in there. I do like the little tidbit that we get though from the simple domain guy who's just like, oh, she can use reverse curse techniques. Their sorcery is like a completely different level from what we're able to do. And the fact that they have Gojo right now is just trapped in the little Rubik's Cube, it's a problem. You gotta get that shit. But she unleashes absolute mayhem with all of her ice attacks. Yuji isn't as affected. He chalks it up to the fact that he's Sukuna's vessel, which being Sukuna's vessel grants you a lot of perks. So there's some big downsides, like the fact that you might just become a big terrorist for a hot minute there, but you get some nice perks. And then the episode ends with the reintroduction of the big blonde lady, whose name I do not remember, even though it's literally the last line of the show.
I want to get to know this character.
Oh yeah, so I assume, and you know what they say about assuming, Joe, but I assume the final episode of this arc is gonna be a bit of a brawl with her and perhaps Geto / Kamo Noritoshi, whatever the fuck you want to call him at this point, the big brain guy. And then somehow everyone will go their separate ways, and then everyone's gonna start licking their wounds and planning their next thing. So I'm very curious to see how they wrap it all up in the next one.
My prediction, a fight between those two. Somehow, Prison Realm Rubik's Cube's gonna come out, and I think the good guys are gonna retrieve it, but not be able to open it along those lines. So like having access, be like, okay, we got Gojo, but like, what do we do? One more episode. This is crazy. I really hope when this episode comes out, it just is like done. Like, don't give us a trailer for anything. Don't give us an announcement date. Nothing. Like, finish this and then just let it breathe. You need to breathe, maker. Like the animators, please go breathe. I know they got that whole Chainsaw Man movie happening, but don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
You can take a break for a little bit. Have Christmas. Do a New Year's party. Whatever the fuck it is you want to do. Go relax for a little bit. So, everyone, I hope you guys have been enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 Shibuya Incident Arc. We got one more episode to go. It'll be a little late Christmas present for all of us. And we'll see ya in whatever year Season 3 comes out, because I am a Jujutsu Kaisen fan now, and I couldn't say that the last 2 Jujutsu Kaisen projects. So that is a feat all on its own. Anyway, with that being said, we'll love you, we'll leave you, and goodbye.